Hey everyone, my name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. If you like this content, please subscribe and give a thumbs up button. I'm going to go over today a topic called peak everything. And it doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to happen immediately. It doesn't mean that this data I'm going to show you is necessarily right, but I think it's important to understand that what it is, that it's out there, and that eventually it will happen. So you're going to lose me. We're going to go right into peak everything. So these are going to be charts and graphs, and I pulled up particular ones where they're going to peak in terms of output. And usually what a peak looks like is it looks like a bell curve. It rises up, it peaks, and then it rises back down in a fashion that looks like a bell curve or a normally distributed curve. So we're looking at nickel. This is world nickel extraction. And they have two fits here. They've got a red line and a blue line. It's somewhere in between these two lines. And you can see the actual output of the extraction rate in black dots. They think that this is going to peak somewhere 2019 to 2026 or something like that. And that's just kind of one estimate. Here is the nickel extraction. This is the amount extracted versus the amount left. Usually where they cross is roughly where it's going to peak out at. 2020 is right here. So they're saying like 2019, maybe you can push it a little bit past that for a peak extraction of nickel. And this is I'm just using nickel as an example. This is world nickel recycling, and you can tell, as you recycle it more and more and more and more, that it'll diminish, and you can't recycle 100% of it every single time. And you can do it over and over and over, and eventually you hit this very small peak way out there after many, 10th or 11th recyclings. And this is just nickel in terms of tons per capita, and they have it peaking somewhere in the early 2020s, and then leveling off and then declining after that. So here's some things about precious metals. Probably about the year 2030, world silver extraction will peak, and the uses of new silver in technology will have to diminish. Recycling of silver in technological devices will become more important than it is now. It appears that gold is highly depleted in the United States, although it is possible that another small extraction peak will occur when it becomes difficult to get gold from the rest of the world. The 1980 peak for World Platinum Group was probably due to the fact that the United States extraction had declined after a small peak. It appears that the World Platinum Group has a decade or more to go before peaking, and there may be more peaks in the future. So let's look at this. What does this look like in terms of extraction rates and modeling that they've done? So they're saying that we're kind of at the peak extraction of silver, possibly. This is obviously 2020 right here, roughly, and declining, or maybe even before 2020. For gold, it looks a little bit different. They're projecting, a 2021, 2022. I've seen it in other charts where the peak extraction could be around that time frame. Here is an alternate scenario where it peaks out way up there, 2025. Maybe price will drive it up there, possibly. Here's World Platinum Group extraction. We've got a couple of peaks here, another peak here. They think it might come up all the way. I've seen others say that this is the peak and it's going to head back down. I don't know. I just wanted to share this information because I thought it was pretty interesting with everybody about what some other people think that the extraction rates could be based off of reserves and extraction rates. Here's world uranium extraction. So we're coming through. It looks like they're expecting another peak or hump around late 2030s, and then a decline after. This is world tin extraction. Looks like it's going to decline quite rapidly very soon. World copper. This is a nice copper one. Looks like we're heading up. They're thinking early 2030s, possibly 2040s up here. World bismuth extraction. Decline. U.S. crude oil. We declined in 1970, and then they think another peak's going to come from probably shale. We've got world crude oil discoveries, and usually the discoveries for the world are going to peak much sooner than the actual production rate. So this is the production or extraction of oil, and they think it's going to peak somewhere in the mid-2020s and then head lower after, say, 2030. And this is world natural gas. Coming up, looks like the peak extraction's around late 2020s. And there's another one that is a little bit different curve in mid-2020s, depending on how it goes. And then we've got energy out. So this is the energy return off of energy invested, and it's declining as the green oil shale has very little free energy to do work in society versus how much is going back into getting energy or energy used in production. So we're going off the cliff. Obviously, I label this peak everything. I just want everybody to understand that there's a whole bunch of stuff out there and that we're reaching peak extraction rates of a lot of materials. And it's important to understand this because it may influence how you invest. So I want you to be well aware of this. I'm not telling you that these are the exact peaks. These are just estimates based off of reserves and extraction rates from other people who do this type of analysis and statistical analysis. This is Finding Value. If you appreciate this clip, subscribe and comment. Thank you.